Hey, good morning to you.
Good morning, Adrian. Hi, Kenny. Hi, Shane.
How are you now?
What's happening?
I'm good. All good. How are things?
Very good form. We're so excited to have you on. We're just keeping you off screen for the second. And
I was going to say, there he is. I was going to say, where's his face?
Good,
oh, no.
Good to see you, Ken.
Can we switch off again?
I always like the headphones.
Believe.
Yeah, the headphones make him look like a GAA commentator, which adds to
Looking
the
very pale.
he
Tommy's
is.
looking very
Nice.
pale. Is that the background?
actually-
Or is it just?
I've actually been-
It's just.
He's under the
I'm
weather.
under the
Sickly
weather,
child.
Kenny.
So were you a
Under the
sickly
weather.
child, Tommy? Sickly child.
Under the weather, pal, and I still
Oh,
came
are you? Bless.
I hear we're under time pressure in
So, go
typical
for it.
Adrian
Ooh.
Barry fashion. So let's get into this.
That's John Duggan talking.
Shots
Just never
fired.
shuts up, John.
So, couple of corrections on slide 4 here. London are down a spot, Carlow are up 1, Wexford are down 1, even though they still have an outside shot of promotion. I'm not sure it's going to happen. Longford, bottom of Division 3 alongside Tip, are down to 28th. Wicklow have moved up 2. Oisin McConville's side are in the promotion hunt after huge wins against Laois and Leitrim. Leitrim has slid back a spot. They can still get promoted, but after back-to-back defeats, they need to beat first and second place Sligo and Laois next. For Tip, they're in 25th. The free fall continues. If people are looking closely at this now in the next slide, they'll ask why Laois have jumped up 2 spots, but there's a bit of a correction going on here. They are in pole position for promotion alongside Sligo, who, like Laois, are getting the job done. No changes to Antrim, who are in a bit of bother after a hammering to Westmeath at the
Antrim
weekend.
should have been dropped
Awfully.
out of there.
And Fermanagh, but fear not, there'll be another power rankings before the end of the league, and we could be fixing the form and the issues that do lie with the power rankings. As I've said before, I'm not calling myself to be infallible like Owen Sheehan or the Pope. Changes can be made here. Down, move back a bit. They fell short to Cavan, to be expected. Promotion is still doable, but Westmeath and Fermanagh are in pole position to join Cavan in that top spot. So Westmeath, Fermanagh meet next, and we'll see what they're all about then. Limerick got their first points of the league. They drew at Meath. They kicked 17 points. They possibly should have beaten them. The good and the bad for Meath on show once more. Very impressive in attack, very open in defence. But that point edges them up the table. I don't think they'll get a late surge, but maybe with Munster around the corner, there might be a bit of momentum. We'll see how Limerick get on, but they look guaranteed to go down on 1 point. Kildare in 17th. I am not sure what I can say about Kildare anymore. Louth delivered at the weekend. Kildare can still save themselves, so we'll see what happens, but just sliding back and back into 16th spot. Big moment for Louth. Another big win at the weekend. They are making progress, but it is from a low base. I think Louth have played 3 Leinster quarterfinals in the last 6 years. They've got smashed in all of them. Meath put 27 points by them. Dublin bet them by 18 points. Kildare bet them by 16 points. So Louth are coming from a low base, but there is progress going on here. The shape that Mickey Hart has them playing and their kick-out press is very, very good. Like last year, they relied on Samuel Roy. He went off injured at the weekend and has still got the job done. So their scorers stepping up for Louth across the pitch, and that is a big part to them progressing. I don't think they're second best in Leinster yet. You'll see why in a minute. Cavan 15th, Meath 14th, Westmeath are in 13th spot. I'm not sure they'll get much higher. And Clare have slipped back a spot to 12th. They're in a tough position at the minute. It's unfortunate, but it's a ruthless division, Division 2. They were poor in the second half against Cork last week after throwing away 6-point leads in back-to-back games. They're away to Derry next. Tough ask, but can they spoil the promotion party and give themselves a lifeline? In 11th position, James Donoghue's Cork. They are the top goal scorers across the division.
Creeping up.
Very impressed with them on Sunday, Adrian. Even without their, you could say, marquee man, Stephen Sherlock, there is loads of talent in Cork, and Cleary has them playing in a really, really good way. Sean Powter and Matty Taylor were key at the weekend. They scored 3 goals between them.
Tommy, I don't know where to jump in with my issues on this, so I'll just
I have one as
meld
well.
them all
You
into
go
one.
first.
And one of them.
If you want to jump in now, jump in now.
I pay fairly close attention to Division 3. How Antrim have not fallen into the 4th slide there is the pummeling they got. Now, Westmeath just haven't been at the level. I'm almost surprised to see them in 13th, which is a slightly unusual thing for me to say.
Okay, can we
that
pause
I expect
on
them to be at, because
Antrim?
I actually think Cavan are getting the bounce that I expected Westmeath to get from the Tailteann Cup last year, in that they're putting away again down. What a down slip 1 spot down or not? Down should have fallen a few more spots. Cavan for me.
Sorry, I'm a Monaghan man. This is very hard for me to say, Tommy, but Cavan should absolutely be higher.
Monaghan scored 2 frees in the entirety of the second half against 14-man Galway at the weekend and have held firm.
Oh, well, rightly so. Number 9 is
Hey,
they should have fallen.
No.
Hold your horses.
They still have 4
Not
points.
in that
Last
time.
week.
Pick it up wherever you want.
Right. Shane, I'll come back to you. Adrian, you haven't been on the power rankings. This is the fourth version this year. I've explained numerous times already why Westmeath started at such a high spot. They are sliding back. There's a bit of correction going on here, but they started in 12th position this year after their Tailteann Cup exploits. Cavan, unless they get to the Ulster final, are not competing for Sam Maguire. I don't see them going any higher.
Cavan at the minute, are ahead of Westmeath.
Even if they win Division 3.
I actually agree with you.
They
I
are.
agree with
Like, all evidence, and it kills me to say it, but all evidence.
But hold on. Well, how
they're
many
definitely
points
ahead of Meath. Meath drew with Limerick. They conceded 17 points. That is a disaster.
Division 3 and Division 2.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Cavan have beaten all in front of them.
You're saying why Antrim aren't on the fourth side yet. Antrim lost 2 games in injury time to fluky goals. They got absolutely tanked at the weekend, and they have a huge job in their hands.
If Antrim aren't slipping back after taking a pummeling like that against a team that clearly aren't in the conversation or anywhere near it.
Like, Tommy, you grew up a kick of the ball from Kingscourt. You have a lot of Cavan friends, I'd imagine. You could be in trouble here.
Shane, that's your problem. This has nothing to do with friendship.
No, I know,
this
but
has nothing to do with
they've beaten every
looking
team in
after
front of them.
people that I know. It's nothing to do with slipping fivers into the back pocket. This is the power rankings. I've taken over from Owen Sheehan. It's a very, very important slot.
Two quick comments.
Cavan lads wouldn't be slipping fivers into your pocket.
We haven't got to the point of slide yet.
Yeah, two quick. So give me these 2 quick comments that summarise all this stuff better than we have. Shane, not this one, says Cavan will beat any of the teams ranked 9 to 16. We should be higher. And Jack Cosgrove says Westmeath ahead of Cavan is mind blowing. Tommy Rooney is afraid of Cavan.
Cavan can whinge all they want. Okay, Cavan won Ulster in 2020. Fair play to you, you've got the job done. You slid back to Division 4. They are improving and correcting what went wrong
Massively
in 2021. Massively improving, Shane. They're in Division 3.
Yeah, but they're going to be in Division 2.
They're
about to get promoted.
Question, they're up.
Sure, and I have them in 15th place. I have them in 15, and they may go up again. But, like, what do you want me to do here? I
put
can't
them
put them
above Westmeath. That's what I want.
Above Westmeath won the Tailteann Cup last year. They bet them in the championship final.
I know, but you need to get with 2023, Tommy. And it kills me to make this argument, but I think you've got that wrong.
Well,
bring
Adrian,
us into slide 1.
Forgive me for just cutting across you here. This is your first time on the Power Rankings. I have been on the Power Rankings 4 times so far this year. Where were you before this?
Show me your medals. Get dust off your medals. I hear you, Tom.
Yeah,
bring us into slide 1 here. Come on.
Slide 1. Tyrone haven't moved after that heartening win at the weekend. They can complain all they want. They can thank Paddy Andrews. The rumours were that the football pod was bleared around the speakers and all before the game. We need to see a bit more from Tyrone, but good signs at the weekend. Roscommon in 7th. Shadow boxing at the weekend, so I'm not moving that game with Mayo. Armagh 6th. Derry are 5th, even though they had that great win against Dublin. But it's very tight up here. Just a lot has to go for changes to be made. Dublin have slid back 1 to 4th place. I can see the scowl on Kenny Cunningham's face. But Kenny, I'm going to lay it out to you this way. Paddy Andrews put it best. Indiscipline. No plan B.
That's the dubs for you.
No evidence of evolution in the last 5 years. No real depth beyond their best 15. I'm not ruling out Dublin pulling this out because they probably have the strongest 15 on paper alongside Kerry. But beyond that, they're struggling, and that's why they've slid back to 4th place. They lost the game at the weekend, and in previous years they would have pulled out of the bag and won. 3rd place, Mayo. 2 words: choo choo. Get on the hype train.
Here we go.
There you go. Galway in 2nd, Kerry in 1st.
Yeah.
Or can Mayo win the All-Ireland this year, Tommy? Genuinely.
Obviously.
Why is it obvious?
Because they're one of the best teams in the country.
Will they? Ask them, will they win it?
They always let you down, though. Will they?
Will they win it?
That's a good question, Kenny. Will they win it?
Good choice.
Give us a look at slide 1
That's
there
why you
again.
should have been pundit of the year.
Thanks,
Pundit of the year in my books.
Will they win it? Like it's a very good question. The way I put it to you is every team, I would say every team, and I'm sorry, Roscommon people, bar Roscommon can probably win the All-Ireland this year. That's possibly harsh in this first slide.
Very harsh.
I don't think Tyrone are doing it. I'm going to rephrase.
It's a bit of a weak answer, Tommy. Got to be honest with you.
I don't think Armagh are going to do it. This is my answer, Kenny, right?
All right.
Derry, Dublin, Mayo, Galway, Kerry. 4 semi-finalists last year. Mayo have been perennial finalists and semi-finalists over the last couple of years. They can all win the All-Ireland this year.
Oh, jeez.
But they all have
We know they can,
They
Tommy.
all
That's
have
not the
fatal
question.
flaws. Kenny, they all have fatal flaws, and that's the thing. Mayo, to me, look like they're cleaning up those flaws, which is their attack. So I would give Mayo as good as chances I've ever given.
Wet Mayo, Tommy.
I think look, the Mayo stuff has absolutely totally blown me asunder, because I didn't expect them to be at all where they're at. I had them totally written off, and I think Tommy's right. The one slight surprise, like Tyrone, there was common Tyrone thing. If we can look at slide 1 again, I would have probably edged on the basis of both the results of the weekend. And Tyrone, like, look, you can sort of say it's a one-off result, fair enough, and I know you're taking the long game approach here, which I don't mind saying was not your predecessor's approach. He'd be as flighty as could be, and like any opportunity to make a few tweaks, he'd go for it. But like, backs against the wall the weekend, and relatively impressive obviously with getting the job done, desperately needing to get the job done, and got it done. Yeah, but like, maybe that's the biggest pointer to what might happen in the championship versus Roscommon, who granted they came with a late surge, could have drawn the game late on. But
Adrian, this can't all be done on a whim. It's not all done on science and
stats. To be honest with you,
stats.
it feels like it has been done on a whim. You've nailed it.
You're waiting for Tyrone. Tyrone have a short trip to Clonus next, and if they lose that, they're probably going to be relegated, and if they win it, they'll be safe. So you're probably holding off, Tommy, are you? I'm trying to back you up here.
Like Shane, there's an element of that. There's big games ahead. There's a lot yet to happen. I watched Tyrone on Saturday night. A lot of this is to do with what you see in front of you, the feeling you get from a county. Like, Roscommon made 5 changes the weekend. Mayo made 6 changes. I'm not reading much into that game. That is why that game is not being brought too much into contention here. They're meeting in Connacht in 5 weeks' time. Tyrone bet Kerry. Kerry want to finish mid-table in the league. We've heard them say it numerous times. I'm not too worried about Kerry's performances at the minute. Let Tyrone back it up. Let themselves get themselves safe. And then we'll see how to get on in Ulster. There's a lot to happen yet, lads. It's going to be a relentless calendar over the next 3 or 4 months. So get ready for a couple of more power rankings.
Where were Armagh were in 6th. Yeah, that's about right, I'd say.
Yeah, I probably had Armagh a little higher. I had them 4th early on. I got a lot of stick for that, but I did think that Armagh were going to back up the league performance we saw last year. That the bit of rock and roll football. I'm not saying they can't get to that position, but maybe they're biding their time to get there.
I think you need to get more trigger happy, Tommy. I'm not going to lie to you. Anthony Moyles has been in touch. He says, keep them Westmeath and Cavan lads down, Tommy. Don't mind Adrian. Should be lower if you ask me.
I think Moyles has got a point. Like, the biggest thing to come out of Westmeath and Cavan, and I'd put loud in this bracket now, is complaints.
What do you mean?
Complaints.
What are you talking about?
All they do is complain.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, I'm actually batting on behalf of Cavan here, which is a ludicrous position to be in.
But they're in Division 3.
Suggests.
Sorry, Tommy, the biggest thing coming out of Cavan.
You can only bet what's in front of you, Tommy, and they're doing that with bells on.
This is the power rankings, right? It is where each county are in terms of the All-Ireland series. It is where each county
Cavan tomorrow would beat Westmeath, in my view.
Cavan can't win the All-Ireland unless they get to the Ulster final.
But whatever about winning the All-Ireland, because if you're talking about winning the All-Ireland, there's not, you need forget about like ranking 6 down. I'm just saying
they're not going to be in the competition unless they get to the Ulster final, and at the minute that looks like a very tough ask. I'm not saying Cavan can't get there. They're in 15th position. I think it's fair for a team that are top of Division 3.
The biggest thing coming out of Cavan is Paddy Lynch, Tommy. 2-5 at the weekend. It's not complaints.
Oh, he doesn't want to hear it, Shane. He doesn't want to hear it. It's too much logic.
I talked Lynch up plenty last year. Give him loads of credit. I think he's a superb footballer.
Danny Mack says Meath 14th. Nepotism at its best. Come on, Danny Mack. Richie, I mean, Cavan are probably a mid-level Division 2 team next year, so somewhere from 10 to 14 at best.
Probably next year. I look forward to the power rankings next year when no one takes them over.
The Westmeath thing is based solely off winning the Tailteann Cup last year. It's been wrong since the first power rankings.
So,
and Shane
hold on a second. Hold on a second, right? Westmeath won a championship. Something has to be said about that. They won a championship. They got a team holiday. They performed in Croke Park. They have footballers all across the park. There's plenty of footballers in that team that have been in Leinster semi-finals and Leinster finals. Sure, they haven't won it, but they're silverware in that dressing room. They've won a couple of league titles as well. Well, maybe not a couple. They've won 1 or 2 back in the day.
When we've reached a position where you're arguing for Westmeath and I've argued against them, it's time to wrap.
I just think there's a bit of a debate at the minute about the second best team in Leinster, as if that's something to be proud of. Kildare, Meath need to get their acts together. They haven't got it together yet. It's between Wesley, Meath and Louth for me at the minute. Louth are coming from such a low base that I couldn't have Louth ahead of Westmeath, who have won a championship.
You should. Louth are the best. Louth are the second best team in Leinster at the moment.
Tommy, I look forward to the...
Jane, I'd love to hear you back that up.
I look forward to the update next week.
Mickey Hart.
Talk to you later today. We'll be friends later on.
You've played a blinder, Tommy. You played a blinder today.
Thanks, Kendo. Well done this morning. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
thanks, Adrian.
And you, Tommy. Hope to see you soon.
Good work.
Thanks.
Get back into the studio quick.
Boys. Fair play.
Come on.